love control as much as I do. Like, if you are a control freak, please put your hand up, because you are my people. I like to control everything. My daughter is 12 now, uncontrollable. It breaks my heart that I can't make her wear a top that goes beyond her belly button. Like, it breaks my heart that I can't control that. It breaks my heart that I can't control how much time she spends on social media without shutting Wi-Fi off, and all of those things. But I like to control everything. I like to control the flight that I'm flying on. It's why I don't like to fly, because what if the pilot had a fight with his wife last night? What if he's in a bad mood today? What if he's just not a good person? What if the mechanic forgot to put the screw on where it should have gone? These are the things that I am a control freak for. So you wouldn't know it if you saw me on the plane, but inside I am like scoping it all out. So I like to sit at the front of the plane. I feel like I'm closest in case they needed my help if something happened. I don't know what help I could give, but I feel like I'm smart enough that I could figure a couple of things out. So I thought, you know what? It's very difficult to understand what you can and what you can't control. And understanding how knowing what you can and can't control can actually work to your advantage. Because for as many things as we don't control, there are as many things that we do control. So let's dive into this a little bit. You don't always have total control over your environment. But at the same time, you are also never totally out of control. So it's a bit of an oxymoron because you're uncontrollably in control. So it's something that you need to think about as we go through this. Next slide. So there are 5 things that I feel are really integral to what you can control. And not just that you can control them, but that they actually can work to your benefit and change your outlook, your goals, and actually what you achieve. So the first one is your attitude. We all talk about attitude and how important attitude really is. And it's true, it is important. A good attitude can, oh my gosh, my ex-husband is calling.
Speaking of attitudes.
Like, right? Something you can't control. Something and someone you cannot control. All right, moving on. Attitude. I will not let this call ruin my good attitude. It's important to be positive even in difficult situations. It's important to be positive when things are good and when things are bad. It's also important to be persistent in pursuing having a positive attitude. You want to be the someone that other people, even strangers, once they have come across you, will want to know, will want to be with. People will always remember how you made them feel. They won't always remember the things that you did, but feelings and emotions always stay with us. And so it's really important to have a positive attitude. Is it easy? Of course not. I was telling a story last night about when I sent a text to my former husband about him, and it wasn't very kind or thoughtful. It was really bad. And so through that, I learned that, you know what? I need to have a better positive attitude. Everyone doesn't need to know everything and to hear everything. Try to be the most enthusiastic person that you can be every single day, because it's not just a one-time thing. Someone mentioned earlier it's important to take at least 28 days to create a habit. Some research will tell you it's as many as 60 or 90 days if you really want to create a habit that will stay with you, that will really become a part of you. So if you want to be positive and if you want to have a really good attitude, you can't just do it today. You can't just do it on the days where you feel like it. You do it on the days where it is the most difficult thing that you will probably have to do. That's how you build integrity. That's how you build character. And that's how you become a positive person. You don't become a positive person by being negative. You become a positive person by being positive. You'll notice yourself, oh, sorry, Brady.
Sorry.
Try being the most enthusiastic person you know for one day. What it will do is change your outlook completely. You will smile more. You will feel happier. You will have better relationships, conversations, and even engagements with other people. Think about if you have a really bad day. You have a really bad day and someone says, you know what, don't worry about it. It's just one day. It'll get better. It's a nice thing to say to someone, and it shifts everything. Have a positive attitude. Be there for other people. Okay. The next one is words. Anyone who knows me knows I do not use emojis. I do not ever use short forms in texts or emails or WhatsApp messages, ever. I have to look up what my daughter sends me because I don't know what the acronyms mean. I Google them. Or I ask her, like, I'm not sure what this meant. So I am a person who loves words. And I also realize words are powerful. They are so powerful that we don't even realize the energy that words can harness. If you all listen to Ben's video, his words were very carefully chosen to make sure that everyone here knew how much he wished he was at this event, how much he believes in Canada, what he sees as the future for Canada with Unique. He picked those words for all of you, and he did it with intention and deliberately. Your words can make or break your day. There's no question of that. And not only can they do it to your day, they can do it to anybody else's day. Have you ever said something that you wished you could take back? Right. And does it make you feel good when you picked those words with malice or ill intent and you threw them out at someone? Because most of us, when that happens, we think, I should not have said that. I should not have said it with that tone, in that way. Words are powerful. Kind words can soothe the soul. You have that bad day and someone says, it's okay, it'll pass, it's a phase, tomorrow's a better day. It kind of perks you up. It kind of gives you like a little hug around your soul. Have that same bad day, and if someone is negative towards you, what happens? It makes you feel even worse. Words are powerful. And here's something to think about. You all live on social media. Most of our world today lives in a virtual world, a disconnected world, because we're not connected in the same way face to face. Not everything you think, not everything that happens to you needs to be shared or expressed. Be thoughtful about what you choose to say, how you choose to say it, and who you choose to say it to. Words can change everybody's life, for better or for worse. I've done it with my daughter. I have said things to her where as soon as it came out of my mouth, I almost like took a step back and thought, did I just say that to her? And I'm very quick to apologize to her. But if you think before you speak, your words have more intention and they have meaning and they have value. And if there's one thing that people value, it's when your words make them feel like they matter. Think of everyone walking around with a sign on them that says, make me feel important. Your words can do that. And here's the thing. We'll see this on the next slide. Your words become your actions. What you think is what you play out. So if you don't think good things, you don't act out good things either. And we'll move to the next slide. Actions are the third thing that you absolutely can control. Your actions are guided by your words. If I came up here today and thought, oh gosh, another event, like it's snowing out, I'd rather be at home watching one of my 50,000 murder mysteries on the PVR instead of being here. My presentation would have no energy. You'd be probably saying to Brady and Megan, oh, is that my computer? Why did you, also something you can't control, technology. Why did you have Debra here? I'm here because I want to be. I'm here because I think you guys are so great. Those are my, oh my gosh, phone. Those are my actions. And so my words are becoming my actions. And let me tell you, we live in a world where people observe an awful lot. They may not say a lot, but they observe a lot. And 90% of the communications that we do are done with actions and body language. So it's not just about what you say. It's about how you project yourself, the actions that you take. And actions include how you treat other people. Actions are a sign to the universe saying that you're ready for what you want. If your actions are not congruent with what you want, you won't get it because you haven't put it out there. You have not manifested exactly what it is that you want. It starts with your words and it carries through to your actions. You have to prove that you are ready to do the work, ready to do what it takes, and that your intentions are true and are genuine. Because the universe does not take untruths. It does not take lies. It kicks those right back to the curb. And it knows it. People around you know it when you're not being intentional, when you're not being truthful, and when you're not being honest. It's a simple formula. You get inspired. You vividly envision whatever your goal is. And don't have 100 of them. Have 1 or 2 or 3. That's all that you need, because they're going to take a lot to make happen for you. Internally align yourself with the goal. Do what you need to do internally. Work on what you need to work on. Get the skills you need to get the skills on. There's no shortage of ways in this world to get information. It's called YouTube and Google. Everything you need is out there, including fake news, but you'll have to discern that yourself. Action is the secret that distinguishes success from dreams. Dreams do not come true without action. They become wishes over which you have no control. Next slide. Manners. I'm a big manners person. I have like manners books at home. I make my daughter read books about manners. And here's a funny story. In 2017, she came on the second Unique Cruise with me. And I brought her on that cruise with some very high bar guidelines. The first one was there was not to be one negative word or one complaint about one single thing that I asked her to do on that cruise. If she had to come and listen to Derek and Rob Morris speak, she came to Derek and Rob Morris speak and she sat there and she paid attention. There was no device, there was no talking to me, there was no talking to anybody. Every person she met, shake their hand. And not some little 7-year-old handshake, a handshake of a grown young woman. Look people in the eyes. Do not talk to them and be staring off into space or looking at your shoes. I'm not taking it. And ask people how they are. When they ask you a question, ask them that question back. Those were the guidelines for her when she was, I don't even know, how many years is that? I guess she was 10. So, and she stepped up and she did it. And now when I say, oh, I'm coming to Red Deer for Brady and Megan's event, can I come? I'm like, no. It's not that kind of event. It's not like an incentive trip. But I will look people in the eye. I will shake their hands. I will do what you asked me to do. I will not complain, because now she thinks that's the bar for being able to just go where she wants. But what it did teach her is that manners are important. People remember how you made them feel, and manners help them do that. They matter to us. We live in a world where people forget that manners matter. That you still have to treat people well, that you just can't walk through life with total disregard and reckless abandon for everybody else that you walk by or that's on the road and be so focused on your phone that all you care about is this. We have to reconnect to people. Manners help us practice gratitude. We live in a world that is very much selfish. Everybody is about themselves. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I understand that as a mom, you gotta be selfish sometimes. You need to take that time for yourself and to fill your cup up and to get a break from your kids or your husband or your partner. Get a manicure, get a pedicure, go hang out with your friends. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a world that does not think about putting other people before them at times, when it can be something that you do for someone else. They give us the opportunity to put someone else first. If I say thank you to Brady and Megan, I mean thank you to Brady and Megan. If I send a thank you card to someone, it's because I really want to thank you. It's a big deal, and it's so important to do those small little things. We do not live in a kind world today. And it's not because of unique presenters, let me tell you. Because we are a very kind community. We are a sisterhood. But the world is not kind anymore. It's hardened. It's judgmental. It's focused on being an influencer and having the most and showing the most perfect picture on Instagram that took you 5,000 takes, 3 filters, and really isn't your real life. That's the world that we live in. One of my favorite movies is Cinderella, the live action remake of it from a few years ago. And there's a saying in there that says, have courage and be kind. For where there is kindness, there is goodness. And where there is goodness, there is magic. You have to believe in something. You have to believe in magic. It might be magic that you make, but it's still magic because you made it, because it mattered to somebody else. We need to reconnect to living in a kind world where I don't need to run the guy off the road because he cut me off. I can just let him go and say, that'll come back to him one day. And that's okay. Manners help us be present. It's important to be present in the world. We're all so disconnected and we're all so focused on other things. And we heard earlier talk about distractions when we were talking about November and Black Friday. And just for the record, I do know what's coming on Black Friday. They did not, but I do. But it's important to not be distracted from what it is that matters to you, whatever it is. If you're going to work on your business for that power hour or those power 15 minutes like Bobby talked about, do it for the 15 minutes. Do it for the 60 minutes. Don't fall down the black hole and become the squirrels that this has made all of us. Focus on what matters to you and focus on what you want that will get you towards achieving your goals. And let me tell you, I've seen it enough times to know that it's real, and I didn't believe it for the longest time. But your words and actions can come back to haunt you, and they can either come back as good karma or bad karma. How that happens is entirely within your control. Next one. Effort. Oh my gosh. Did anyone ever have a report card that said, oh, well, Debra would get much better grades if she just put more effort into that class? Yes, she would have, but she didn't want to. But in hindsight, effort is really important. And I'm going to tell you why. Effort is what we put towards achieving anything it is that we want, whether it's saving money, whether it is getting a job, whether it is promoting to a different status, whether it is raising children. Effort is required in every single thing in life. The levels of effort might be different, but everything requires effort. And effort is a currency. It's like money. It challenges you and it builds character. Effort doesn't mean it's easy, and effort put in also doesn't mean it will be achieved. But what it does mean is that you did your best. And at the end of the day, all you can do is your best, not somebody else's. Your very best is all you can do. Some days, that will be enough. Some days, it will be more than enough. And some days, that effort will fall short. I was at lunch with Natalie and Sasha, and we were in the car talking about kids. I don't know how we got on the subject. Oh, I was telling Natalie how great I thought her presentation was, because she does not love to public speak, but she does it. She pushes herself out of her comfort zone, and she challenges herself. And she puts, just like everybody else, a lot of effort into what she brings to the stage and what she pours out. And she said, do you really think it was my best one? Because I told her it's the best one I've ever seen. And I said, I really do. I thought it was informational, fun, light, like it was just so natural. I thought it was so great. And she said, really, like, would you tell me if it wasn't that good? And I said, I would tell you nicely, but I would tell you. And then I was explaining to her that with my daughter, who is a competitive dancer, who's just highly competitive in life, period, to be honest. But she'll come off the stage and she'll ask me, do you think it was good? And sometimes I say, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Like, you crushed it on that stage. You owned it. But other times she comes off the stage and she asks the question, and I'll say, it wasn't that great. I just don't feel you gave it everything you had. You can tell me you did, and that's fine. It's not for me to say that, but I'm telling you what I saw. Effort matters in everything, and you have to be real about your effort level. It paves the way to success. So, if I were to ask everybody to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what do you think your level of effort is every day to doing the things that you do? I mean, for me, some days are a 10. Gosh, some days feel like there are 2. Yeah. Some days I don't even think there is any effort. Those are usually weekends, but I could do more with those weekends, and I could waste less time. Because I waste time on weekends, and it makes me crazy when I do it, but I don't seem to learn really well from it. But as I was putting this together, I thought, well, there's an opportunity to step up effort. Everything you want to achieve, doesn't matter what it is, it has a price tag. That price tag is effort. Effort has a cost. The cost might be a sacrifice of, someone said earlier, no TV, no Netflix binges. It might mean you can't eat sugar for like 6 years. That would be me. I failed again today. It's always tomorrow. It's not gonna happen tomorrow either. Maybe Monday. I never eat healthy when I travel. It's the worst. But everything has a price, and you have to be willing to pay that price if you're gonna put the effort into it. You don't own success, you rent it. And the reason that you rent it is because if you earn success with a level 10 effort, and then you get comfortable and complacent and you drop your effort level down, guess what? That success is not gonna stay. So you're renting it. You're renting it based on the effort that you put into what it is that you want to achieve. I would be willing to bet that if you asked a lot of people who are unsatisfied for whatever reason with wherever they are in their life at this moment, one of the contributing factors for that would be low effort. Now, it's not to say that effort will guarantee that everything you want is just going to magically happen, but it is required in order to have any measure of success or to achieve any goal. What keeps many, many, many of us back from achieving whatever it is that we want is an unwillingness to pay the price in the form of effort, to make the exertion, to go the extra mile. The effort to sacrifice our ease and our complacency, because we don't all like hard things. I mean, who likes hard things? They're hard. Why would you love them? But they're hard for a reason. You can't always be comfortable. Nobody sees the athlete that wins the Olympic gold, what they went through. They're just suddenly a gold medalist. They trained for 10 years. They didn't do things with their friends. They didn't watch TV. They didn't eat a lot of junk food. They didn't go to McDonald's every week like I do. They didn't do those things. They paid for their success in the form of effort and sacrifice. You can learn everything you want. You can learn all the best strategies. You can listen to all the trainings of all of our amazing presenters and leaders. But if you lack in effort, it will not matter. Effort is essential for everything that we do in life. Doesn't matter where we're at, doesn't matter what age we are, doesn't matter what it is that we're trying to achieve. Effort is key. So as you think of today and as you go through the rest of the day, because there's a lot of days still to come and there's a lot of learning still to come, I want you to remember this next slide. Start. Start by doing one thing. It doesn't matter what the one thing is. Do the one thing. And do it again and again and again every single day. When you've mastered that one thing, add the second thing onto it. Start by doing one push-up. Start by drinking one glass of water. Start by paying towards one debt that you have. Read one page of personal development or something that just makes you feel so good because you love to read. Delete one old contact. Delete one negative person from your life. Walk one lap. Just start with one. Start by attending one event. You guys can all check that off your list right now. Start by writing one paragraph. Start by writing one thing every day that you are grateful for. Start it today and repeat tomorrow. Because this is a saying that I heard Dr. Phil say ages and ages and ages ago when I used to watch him religiously, like when he first burst onto the scene after being discovered by Oprah. The only thing worse than living a life you do not love for a year is living it for a year and a day. Don't waste another day. Don't waste another minute. Find the thing that you want to do. Find the 3 things that you want to do. Pick a personal, a professional, and a family goal. And every day, do one thing that takes you towards those goals. Thank you so very much.